Hello, fellow Grow Givers. And what I want to talk about is actually part 3 of a 3-part series where I started a conversation about the importance of a Project 100. And I talked a great deal about what a Project 100 is, why it's important, particularly if you are a new entrepreneur or if you are conducting a Project 100 for the first time, right? And what skills and degrees of competency and mindset would be required and should be expected after completing that Project 100. But after having a conversation with another colleague and also a client about the importance of a Project 100, I know I really didn't do much of a deep dive for those entrepreneurs who will already have been established, right? So you've already been beta tested, you have processes in place, you're growing or you've grown from a team of me to a team of we, and you're looking to level up, right? You're looking to increase revenues. And oftentimes we can end up going down a rabbit hole of trying a lot of different strategies and tactics. And I'm not going to cover them ad nauseum. But one of the most effective ways in which to level up, and you probably guessed it, right? Project 100. Whereas you sit down and you ask yourself, look, who are the top 100 individuals? And once again, you write them down for the same reasons I indicated you write them down in the very beginning, right? You need a track to run on. And also, if you've grown from a team of me to a team of we, you also need to give your team of we a track to run on, right? And so at this stage of the business, you should already know, everyone should already be on the same page in terms of your core values, your core focus, who your target market is, what is your competitive niche or value prop. And you should ideally all be on the same page in terms of processes, right? So how do you engage? What tools, strategies, tactics you use to engage individuals and share your value prop, onboard clients, and quite frankly, even what is your process for dealing with individuals who are saying no, like not no forever indefinitely, but no, not right now. And individuals who decide to become clients, how do you onboard them? And then once you have acquired a client, there's the client services piece of it that continues, right? How do you continue to service those clients and make sure they become repeat customers and they bring their friends, right? But what if you've already done that? So the conversation I had with the individual today really revolved around the ideal of feeling like he was kind of stuck in a rut, that he had done all the things he could possibly do along with his team to generate revenues. And you wanted to have a brighter outlook for 2022 and want to know what was one of the most inexpensive ways to do that, right? And my immediate suggestion was, look, create a new list, create a Project 100 of your ideal clients, right? Individuals whom, and this is how I define it, right? Individuals who are looking for your solution. They may not, once again, understand the package is coming, but they're actively looking. They're trying to solve a problem and you have the solution. And they have disposable income to pay for the solution. They understand what the return is, the ROI, and they make blink decisions, right? And so the Project 100 can be very important because what you want to do is you want to take inventory of the clients you have on board. You want to take inventory of the individuals who prove to be the most lucrative and fulfilling to work with, and you want to create a new Project 100. And when you create this Project 100, what you want to take aim at, and look, I mean, you can find a list of individuals, here in the Michigan market, you have Cranes, right? D&B business. Look, Black Enterprise, whatever the case may be, Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Fortune, go to Inc.com. There are lists of individuals that you ideally would want to do business with everywhere. So I'm not going to do too much of a deep dive on where you find this list in this recording, but know that it's coming. But you create this list, right? And look, the reason why you want to do this is because, number one, you want to create a list, whereas if you take these individuals on, these individuals have influence. They have cachet, meaning it's the type of client where if you end up taking that client on, it will raise your brand. That's important, right? Because the higher you climb up the ladder of success, those circles become smaller and smaller and smaller, and believe they talk. And so oftentimes individuals will do business with you if you are already being patronized by someone whom they respect and have high regard for, if nothing else, out of curiosity, just to vet you out, right? And entrepreneurs, most of them tend to be pretty nosy. They want to know, man, there's a strategy that's working, there's a tactic or tool that somebody else doesn't have, and I have an opportunity to take advantage of it. Put me in the know, right? And so that also helps you build your brand. That's why the Project 100 is important. You want to do that for yourself. So you want to raise the level of influence that you have in the marketplace. One of the most effective ways to do that is create a Project 100 of ideal clients, individuals who can actually make a difference in terms of your reputation. The other thing you want to do, and the reason why Project 100 is important, is because it gives you a chance to really test your value prop. It gives you a chance to see what areas you will need to level up in terms of delivery of your services and products. So this also helps you grow and scale your business. You have to rise to the level of the need. And we all know the bigger the need, the greater the compensation. The bigger the problems you solve, the greater the compensation you can expect to receive. Small problems, small checks. Big problems, complex problems, important problems, bigger, more important, right? More largesse in terms of your compensation. So that's another reason why the Project 100 is important, why I suggest you do that. Write down the list of 100 individuals. The other thing you want to do, quite frankly, is it will also force you to, number one, not only level up in terms of your service or product offerings, but the increased cash flow will give you the opportunity to do what? Invest more in your business. Take those revenues and double down and invest in your business. Increase your capacity to deliver more. So I'm a huge fan of this. I encourage people all the time. You know, if you want to level up, paint yourself into a corner. Take on work till max capacity. And you're going to have a choice. You're either going to be at a point where, look, you got to pump the brakes because perhaps you're just wearing yourself into the ground, or it will force you to do what? Invest in the tools and talent that you need to continue to deliver the services and goods so you can maintain your reputation and continue to build your brand. So I just wanted to give this little bonus, if you will, and part 3, if you will, in terms of the Project 100, why it's important, what it is, and how it can benefit and serve you. And so for those individuals, you know, you hear about Project 100s and you're not quite sure what a person might be referring to, why it's important. And look, let me address this right now, because I know some of you are going to be on, so I don't have time to do this. Look, you don't have time not to. Number one, you want to wake up in the morning, you want to wake up week to week, already knowing who you should be taking aim at. You don't want to be basically flying from the seat of your pants, trying to figure it out as you go along. Once again, people don't wake up in the morning planning to fail. They simply plan to they don't wake up in the morning planning to fail. They simply fail to plan. This is part of the planning process, knowing who you want to actually take on as a client and having a list so you can just wake up and race on that list and not try to pull from memory and pie in the sky, you know, stuff falling, you know, into your lap somehow magically. Look, I'm not about that. You know, you got to plan. You got to be purposeful. You got to be intentional. It's almost like dating, right? If you want to get married, you need to be intentional about who you're dating. You need to have vetted that person. You need to have taken the time and made sure you're on the same page in terms of what is going to be the expectations, right? In terms of the exchange and having space together. It's the same thing. You need to be intentional about who you're taking on as clients if you want your business to grow and scale, right? So yeah, I want to make sure that that point is driven home. You don't have time not to. This is very important. It's something that you need to do, especially once again for those individuals who are looking to scale from a team of me to a team of we. You don't want people who are front facing, sales, marketing, client services, anybody who is dealing with the public on your behalf, right? They are in essence kind of representing you. You want them to be acutely aware of who your ideal clients are and who your ideal prospects are. So all the energy, synergy, and focus can go towards that. What you don't want to focus on the things you don't want. You want to focus on the things that you do want, and you want to focus on the clients that you want. So once again, hopefully this part 3, this bonus is useful. I'm about that actionable content. I want to make sure that individuals hearing this information and leveling up. And of course, as I indicated before, man, smash the like button, subscribe. It is the feedback, right? It's part of the KPIs that we take into account, I take into account individually as to whether or not the content we are sharing is of use. And of course, look, you want to continue this discussion, you want to have discussion around the subject matter, look at the notes and, tap into Next Op Social, our after show group on Facebook, and continue discussion. Ask questions, make additional comments. We love comments. We love suggestions. We love criticism. We eat them like Skittles. It helps us become better and more effective at serving you. After all, you're the best thing about what it is that we do. With that being said, I celebrate success in advance. Goodbye for now.